in your behalf, you have Regis Prograis. Are you guys planning to unify titles, or who's the next person that you guys may be thinking that it would be a good fight for him?
Well, we have to fight Josh Taylor. So Josh Taylor's just won the IBF title. We're in the tournament, the WBSS. So our next fight's Josh Taylor. We don't know when it's going to be, probably late September. We don't know where it's going to be. There's been a bunch of different stuff thrown out there. So I've heard Dubai, London, Manchester, New York, LA, and Vegas, which all of them sound good to me. It doesn't matter. We just got to get them in the ring.
Well, we would have loved to see this fight over here in New York. You already picture.
That's my number one place. Yeah.
Hey,
I love it here. So
hopefully, the promoters and everybody, they get and gather together and probably say, hey, let's take this fight over New York. And I think it's gonna be a good platform in order that they could be right here in the Mecca of boxing. It's great to see that now we have in sooner a fight, Steve Rolls and Triple G. What are your thoughts right now? We already mentioned the Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua Brice, and for people that don't know Steve Rolls, even Tom Loeffler says it could be the case.
Yeah, no, he's undefeated. He's a good fighter.
We can underestimate Steve Rolls.
No, if you underestimate him, he definitely can pull an Andy Ruiz. It's boxing. So, if Triple G's not focused or hadn't done all his work, so a lot of times that happens. Guys step down and another guy steps up, and if Rolls can rise to the occasion, he's got a great chance.
It's something that we don't want to miss to this Saturday, because after this fight, for whoever wins, when I spoke with Steve Rolls, and of course I spoke with Tom Loeffler, they're looking forward to have Canelo Alvarez.
Of course.
Steve Rolls says, I want to put my name out there, and I want to prove the world that same thing that Andy Ruiz did it, I want to make it happen too. So, yeah. And he says also, I know in front of me I have one of the toughest middleweight boxers, but also I know that I can do many things as Andy Ruiz did it. So this is my test, and he said it. I've been working hard for this, so I know how I gotta do what I need to do. So is this one of the fights that eventually is creating a lot of animosity, I would say?
Yeah, but they both got respect, so that's a good thing about boxing. I look at Saturday night, talk about two nicer guys, Andy Ruiz and Joshua. After the fight, Joshua, no excuses. He's the better man. That's great. How many guys do that? There's always something. Oh, I had this wrong with me. Just class acts, both of them, Ruiz and Joshua. And that's what boxing, to me, should be. We don't need the guys to. And there is sometimes guys hate each other, and it's exciting, but it doesn't need to be like that every time.
Exactly, that's true. I can tell that true gentlemen, both of them. I don't take nothing away from none of them. I mean, eventually, I just finished watching an interview that AJ, it was speaking, about being a man and take his loss, and he actually said it. That wasn't my night. That was Ruiz's night, and I lost. I take it as a man, and he said it. I will go back again at the gym. My team is still my team. I don't change no coaches. And that's something very admirable when I hear a boxer like that. And in terms of between boxer and coach, do you feel or do you think that it shouldn't be a deep relationship, or do you feel like it should be a business relationship, or how can you explain when it comes to a relationship with boxer and trainer it should be?
Everybody's different. Some guys can treat it just like a business. Not me personally, I can't. I love every one of my guys. So they're like family to me. And that's the way I do it. I don't, if they ever need anything, I'm there for them. So it's not just a business relationship with me. It's, it's more personal.
I like to hear that, coach, and I respect that, because I've been asking these questions, and a lot of guys, they responded differently, and I respect their opinions too, because everyone is different. I feel like some of them, they said it's a business. Some of them, they said it's they feel like, you know, when they started earlier their careers, there wasn't nobody there, and the coach was the only one. So when something bad happens, or the coach or boxer, they relay each other. If I'm not mistaken, Jamie Moore, recently his coach passed away, if I'm not mistaken, and he posted a picture saying that, you know, how deep, you know, it hurt for him, because so many years, you know, of knowledge that his coach used to teach and all of this, so he appreciate that. So my question is always asking, you know, every person, like, what do you think of this, or what do you think of, you know, if it is loyalty or disloyalties? I hear different answers, but I like to hear, you know, what you just mentioned, and that's something very deep, and in my behalf, it's very admirable to see that people is still, you know, loving no matter what, because sometimes if it is money involved, it's something kind of like,
yeah, of course, always,
it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know how can I call it, but it's something that that probably would disturb the relationship between the boxer. But I like to hear, you know, stories like that, and of course the fight fans, they would love to hear that, because every person is different. Every person treats the other person, you know, the way that they feel like each other. So it's great to hear, you know, from your story and everybody's stories, that how coaches and boxers can be related in order to work, you know, for some goal or make an achievement in the career. Coach, I know we're heading June 8th for this fight. Any message that you would like to send to all the fight fans and everybody that will stay tuned and, you know, keep an eye on the whole card, and of course in your fighters too?
Yeah, no, just tune in. You know, boxing's great right now. It's in a great state right now. So there's good money for the fighters. A lot of champions out there. A lot of upsets. So it's good for boxing.
No doubt about it. The upsets that they're out there, but when it comes to, you know, the sport of boxing, this is how it is.
Yep.
So, could you remind your account or somewhere that, you know, the fight fans, they can follow you also too?
Instagram is BobcatJBC, and Facebook, same thing.
All right, fight fans, you already heard. Bobby, it's a pleasure always, you know, to see each other at these events, and I wish nothing but the best for each and every one from your team, and of course from the other team too, because at the end of the day, these athletes, they put their lives there.
Absolutely,
and like I always mention, in my behalf, I know sometimes I will be criticized, but I always think in the aspect and terms also as a human being, because hey, after the fight finishes, everyone wants to go out, you know, back to their homes and see their families. So I don't hate nobody, but, you know, it is the sport, and as you mentioned, great example, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua. They gave us as an athlete, true gentlemen. One, you know, respect the other, and Anthony Joshua just said it. Hey, I lost.
That's it.
No excuse.
No excuses.
Coach Bobby, thanks for everything. I appreciate for your time. We'll stay tuned with you.